Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Sunday. Super excited to see the markets open up this evening to see how gold and silver actually do. But today, I want to take a few minutes to talk about basically the people that are, I don't want to say naysayers, the people that were stackers and have kind of given up. And I feel like they've given up based on some comments that I've seen that the manipulation can go on forever and it's never going to end. And we've been down this road before. We've seen this time and time again where we see the price go up and then all of a sudden it just gets beat down. And when I read those comments, I really feel bad for those people because I think them people could be the ones that really miss out on what's coming. And it's not just them, and it's not just even that topic. It has a lot to do with the mindset of people in general now. Everybody wants what they want now. And I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this myself. Not in precious metals, but in other parts of my life. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that and in today's video. I hope you guys enjoy today's video. If you do, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button to help me out and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you're not subscribed, do the ultimate and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And also a special thank you to all the members of the channel. I can't thank you guys enough if you are a member and you have a star next to your name, because it really does help the channel out grow, especially at times like this where sometimes it just gets frustrating. I'll be honest. We see stuff, and in some cases we don't see it happen fast enough. And it's not just precious metals that people are like this. I'll be honest, I want to grow my YouTube channel. I don't want to wait 20 years from now to be a big channel. It gets frustrating at times. And I know it gets frustrating for stackers when I hear people make comments like I said earlier in the video. But everybody wants everything now. It's just the way society is. Some people, they want to find love and marriage today. They don't want to wait down the road and grow a relationship with a solid foundation. Some people want a house now. So they kind of cut corners. They cut corners, and maybe they cut corners in a foundation. Maybe they cut corners in roofing, the wall, whatever the case may be. And when you cut corners, you don't get what you want. Let's be honest. I'll be honest, another thing for me that I'm guilty of is wanting to get in shape. Some of y'all remember about a year and a half ago, I was doing all these different videos of me trying to push myself to get in shape, short videos, and you know what? It gets frustrating. It gets frustrating, and it's kind of funny because I actually was working out with a gentleman who, he does a lot of training people that want to get in shape and stuff, and he wanted to learn about precious metals. And I have since helped him into getting into stacking. And one day he told me, he goes, I find it funny because it seems like it's going to take forever for me to get a stack like what you have, or like to make a difference. And I said, you want to know something funny? I feel like I might be wasting my time even being here right now working out with you. Why? Because I'm never going to look like you. I mean, I'm never going to have a six-pack ab. I'm never going to have 10-inch muscles around the shoulders or whatever they are, biceps. And, you know, everybody wants everything now. And it was kind of funny that when we had that conversation, because it relates to everything. And, you know, there's a lot of people that are going to regret when they think that precious metals, you know, it's just they're not getting there fast enough or it's not going up. Because the truth of the matter is, with precious metals, once the cat's out of the bag and people realize what's going on, the manipulation, that gold and silver is severely undervalued. And I know right now there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, you know, gold's at an all-time high. How can you say it's undervalued? But the truth of the matter is, when you compare it to the amount of currency that is in the world today, it's enormous compared to precious metals. And precious metals from the beginning of time have been money. And eventually this Keynesian theory that we can just print our way into prosperity is going to come to an end. And a lot of people can't see that right now. Just like, I'll be honest, I couldn't see getting in shape quick enough, and so I kind of gave up on it. And, I'm at the point now where I'm thinking about trying to get back into it because my New Year's resolutions have really been, I've been really putting a dent in what I've been trying to achieve this year. Um, from putting up videos every single day of the week to quitting gambling and working on my house a little bit each day, even though it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And it's just a lot of stuff to do in the course of a day. But I understand that if you don't work on something every day, if you don't think about something a little bit every day, you're probably not going to achieve your goals. The idea that people can get there overnight is really the slow, it's the road that's not going to get you where you want to be. You know, Gold and silver stacking is a slow road. Pretty much anything worth having takes time in life to get. Whether that be a good solid relationship, whether that be a nice stack with a good foundation of precious metals, to a nice house, to getting in shape, anything. And a lot of people are slipping right now when it comes to stacking. I seen a lot of this happen last year just before we seen that big jump. We saw silver at $29 and then all of a sudden we saw it just plunge in value. And at the beginning of last year, we had silver all the way down to 22.50. And a lot of people were essentially saying how they were going to buy it back at $20 or under $20. And they're really glad that they sold it when they did at the $28, $29 level. And maybe some of them got back in at $22.50. With premiums and stuff, you were probably lucky to pick something up at $23.50, $24. But the truth of the matter is, I still hear it to this day. I hear people now saying, I'm glad I sold mine at 35 and it's just going to go back down. And, a lot of people are going to miss the boat. When we eventually see stuff happening, and I really think we are on the verge of seeing stuff happening. Why? Because when I look at the charts, I show you guys the charts a lot in both precious metals, silver. Right now, you've got silver literally every 30 days it's going up higher. Every 60 days it's higher than it was. Every 6 months, every year, every 5 years. And even a 10-year chart, you're astronomically higher. I mean, a 10-year chart, you can pretty much say you have more than doubled your money in just 10 years. And I wouldn't even say 10 years. Technically, if you've been in for about 6 years, you have doubled your money. It's a slow road, though. It is a slow road, especially when you see, I'm going to say, traps. When you see stuff that is manipulated higher, like stocks, like Bitcoin, like cryptocurrencies. And I know right off, some people are going to leave me a comment saying, Bitcoin's not manipulated or stock market's not manipulated, but it is. It is, and here's how it is. When you have stocks that the companies, in the old days, a company would pay you dividends. Pretty much everybody paid dividends in the old days. That was where your earnings ratio came in, your price per earning ratio, and people would be like, okay, hey, if it's got a 20 ratio, that means in 20 cycles, we'll have doubled our money. Well, now what a lot of companies do, instead of paying dividends, a lot of companies will do stock buybacks. And they will buy their stock back, basically acquiring more. And what that does is that essentially makes it to where there's less shares on the market that can be sold. Because if everybody starts selling their shares, what's going to happen to the price? It's going to plunge. But when the companies are buying back their shares, what's going to happen to the price? It's going to tighten up, and there's going to be less shares on the market. So in essence, they're essentially driving their own prices up. Now, one of the great advantages is if you're a company and you're doing this, you're making your stocks more valuable. You're controlling the market. You're manipulating the market in your advantage. And I know some people will say, well, that's great. Hey, you can buy some and you have the right to do that. But when you have a company that holds so many of their own shares, they can control it up, but they can also control it down. If all of a sudden that company needs money, or they think something bad is going to happen, or they just want to fleece. I'm not saying that any company specifically would do that, but if a company wanted to, they could essentially fleece their shareholders by just selling huge amounts and watching the price crumble. And if they do that at a time where essentially the economy is slow and people need money, they get frustrated. And a lot of times people sell. When people experience big losses, people get frustrated and they do sell. That's one of the things I've noticed with cryptos. As crypto falls, people tend to get frustrated and they sell at the wrong time. Now, with gold and silver, you don't really have that. People can say, well, it's manipulated, and it is to a certain point, but the manipulation is technically in our favor. Now, some people might wonder, wait a minute, how's it in our favor? Because most of us that are watching this video right now are stacking precious metals, which means if they weren't manipulating it, the price of them precious metals would be a whole lot higher than they are. You would not be able to buy precious metals at the cheap prices that you can. If they can beat the price down for you, if the true price hypothetically was $35 and they're going to beat it down to $32.50, then essentially they just saved you $2.50 on every ounce. And eventually they're not going to manipulate it down. At a certain point, when they have squished silver, I guess you can say, where the supply is kind of really squished, not like what it is now. What it is right now, they're in an accumulation phase. They're manipulating the price down to buy more at a lower price. And then throughout the week, they might drive the price up a little bit, only because they know that there's essentially more people buying. And then they can beat it down again and buy more for themselves. But here's the thing. We're seeing higher highs and we're seeing higher lows. Now, what does that mean? Well, a higher high means obviously we're hitting new highs. And I know we're not at silver at any kind of an all-time high like we are in gold. With gold, our all-time highs are actually, we're seeing literally it's just going parabolic. And it's going parabolic literally every 60 days. We're seeing it climb higher and higher. But with silver, a lot of people are frustrated because they're like, dude, that's not fair though. We're getting beat up. We're the manipulation. When does it end? Here's the thing. Eventually it will end. And those that had the foresight to stay in it and keep stacking, in my opinion, are going to be well rewarded. Now, this is not financial advice. I don't give financial advice. I tell you guys my thoughts on it, and I tell you guys what I think is going to happen. And it's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, I believe we're going to see precious metals, both gold and silver, a whole lot higher. And when gold does start continuing to climb higher, it's already climbing higher. One day, we're going to wake up one morning, and silver is going to have a good jump. We're already seeing jumps in silver. And what a lot of people don't realize is a 2% jump, say, on $20 silver, that's one price. But if you get a 2% jump on $30 silver, you're making more money. Now, I know some people out there, we've had this debate, you're not making any money, you're increasing your purchasing power. Technically, you're not making any money anyway, because if you ain't selling it, you ain't making anything. But what you are doing is you're preserving your wealth. You're positioning yourself for down the road, for when the day comes that silver and gold does skyrocket, or when the day comes that you want to buy something really nice, a big purchase, whether that be your forever home, whether that be a vehicle, whatever the case may be. And if you've held strong and you've kept stacking, it's a great savings account. A lot of people can't save. I see people spend money like it's going out of style. Literally. It's funny to me that these people aren't silver and gold stackers. Why? Because they can't hang on to a dollar to save their life, some of them. They literally will spend their check, every penny of it, before their next one even comes in. They're really living paycheck to paycheck. But a lot of us that are here stacking, we're putting away a little bit of money each payday, maybe each week. I talk to some people, they say every week they buy. And I think that's really good because you're building a good foundation for your stack. You're building good habits that will be with you for forever. And it's actually going to carry with you in a lot of different aspects, not just in silver stacking. It's going to carry with you in anything that you do. You will understand that it takes time to achieve your goals. And that's what I want people to take from this video. It's not, you're not going to be able to go out, and I've seen this happen too, where people all of a sudden hear about silver and they want to go in and convert every penny they have today in precious metals. I actually know one guy that did it. He converted all of his money at $29 silver, and then the price fell to $22.50. That guy absolutely hated me. He hated me. He thought I swindled him, helping him, and he could not see the future. And I actually was talking to a friend the other day, and he knew the story, and he was actually a friend of this guy also. And he said, have you thought about calling him up and asking if he wants to sell his stack back to you for what he paid? I mean, I told him I would buy it back in a heartbeat. I mean, he bought his stuff at $29, and now we're at $29, but we're at $32.50 now, roughly. And here's the thing, you ain't touching anything for $32.50. If you're going to buy something, the cheapest premium you might find is a $1 over spot. Some people say they've seen stuff for 79 cents over spot. I suppose if you're willing to buy like a kilo bar or something big like that, it's going to be very difficult to break up a 100-ounce bar if you just want to sell a little bit. And here's the thing. When you go to sell it, if the price of silver is $100, can you imagine a 100-ounce bar? Who are you going to sell that to? You might be able to sell it to a refiner. You might be able to sell it to a resale shop. But a lot of these places, maybe not the refiner, but a lot of places are going to want to, you're talking $100 an ounce, 100 ounces. You're talking 10 grand for that one bar of silver. Who has that kind of money? And do you really want to sell something that big for if you only need, hey, I need $500 for my car payment. I had an issue this month and I don't have it. I got to come up with $500. Oh, all I got is a $10,000 bar of silver. I mean, I don't want to be in that kind of a position. So that's why I like stacking. And like I said, it's hard to find stuff now with a dollar premium. Most of the stuff that I pick up now, minimum, is a $2 to $2.50 premium. But I'm a little select in what I like. I like 1 ounce coins. I've started picking back up whatever I can get at low premiums. I did a video on that the other day where I had picked up some stuff, and I told the guys, look, I just want some silver. I don't care. Anything. If I can get it at spot, I don't care what I'll take. And it gives people an opportunity to clean out their collections. It gives people an opportunity to get rid of the stuff they don't like. And it gives you an opportunity to get more silver. Now, it might not be in your prime stack. It might be kind of kicked off to the side. And when you need some money or when you got to sell some, you're going to sell that stuff first. But the truth of the matter, it really doesn't matter because silver price is continuing to climb higher and higher and higher. And I think it's going to pay off for a lot of us. And there's going to be a lot of people that just totally miss the boat. And, they're waiting they want the get rich quick scheme. And I'm not knocking cryptocurrencies. I'm not knocking CDs or savings bonds or any of that stuff. I just think that the best outcome is going to be in precious metals. It's not a get rich quick scheme. You hold it. If you holding it, you own it. There's nothing about it. I had someone say, oh, they're just going to confiscate it from you. They're not going to, in my opinion, they're not going to come confiscate the gold or the silver that you may or may not have. It's not like it was before where everybody had gold in their pocket. We didn't have $20 bills. We had gold $20 coins. And the easiest way, can you imagine if a nickel was made out of, or we'll say a quarter or $1 or anything, it was made out of silver today. Well, they'd want to acquire as much of that as they could as quick as possible. And that's why they made that law. But I couldn't find anybody, when I looked, I couldn't find anybody that was prosecuted for it. It was an option. They asked you, please turn in your gold, punishable by law and fine. Yeah, I'm convinced if someone had pushed it, they probably could have taken it to court. Who knows? But that's water under the bridge now. I mean, today, look at some of the stuff that I don't want to get in some of the hot topics because they get frowned on YouTube, but I mean, with everybody challenging laws and this and that, you think they would try to pull something like that, as crazy as turn in your gold and then gold jewelry? I mean, I just can't see it. With that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Take your time, build your stack, keep stacking. Make it a part of your habits. Good habits today are going to make a big difference down the road. If you enjoyed this video and you made it this far, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. A lot of people watch these videos and they always forget to hit the thumbs up button. Your thumbs up button really helps push these videos. If you want to do the ultimate, please share the video on Facebook or whatever platform you use. Maybe send it to a friend, a buddy. It really helps out more than you know. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Can't wait for the markets to open up this evening. Take care. Bye-bye.